Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream. I am your host, Wonder Bro. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. So this was a suggestion that was given to me on the Discord by, let's see, I believe it was Rick. Rick left me this suggestion for a video, and several of you guys agreed that it would make for a good stream, explaining or trying to explain anxiety to the friends and family of people who are going through it. As most of you know, right, from personal experience, that trying to explain this thing to somebody who just does not understand or has never experienced it for themselves can be a very daunting and difficult task, right? And for the friends and family of the person who is going through it, it can be very confusing for them as well. It can be a very confusing time for everyone involved. It can be difficult to get your point across to them, right? And it can be difficult for them to comprehend your point. So this video is aimed at if any of you guys out there, want to send a video or want to have some way to try to explain yourself to your friends and to your family, send them this video, right? Because I'm going to be talking to them today. We're going to be going over a few things, and of course we'll answer questions after the point of the stream is over. But yes, this stream is directly aimed at the friends and family of somebody who's going through this thing that just want a bit of a better understanding, right, about what's going on with their loved ones. So I'm going to be talking directly to them today, but feel free to stick around, ask some questions after the point of the stream, as always. Hi bro, hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Edgar Sky, what's up guys? Welcome. We're going to give it a few minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm not so sure how interested anybody will be in watching this that is not, a friend or family. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this live, but that's okay. I feel like this was an important stream to have in the catalog. So yeah, we're going to get started in just a second. We'll give some people time to get in here. I'm going to drop a link or two in the chat while we've got a moment. Let's see. Go ahead and grab that link. Can I ask a question right now? Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. We've got a second or two before we get started. So we're going to drop that link if anybody's interested in joining us over on the Discord. I'm like a super stud. Yes, you are, Mr. Sky. Yes, you are. Yeah, go ahead and get that question in real quick, and we'll try to answer it, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Mike, what is up, Mike? Welcome, dude. Let's see here. And if you don't get that question in time before we get started, that's fine. Just wait until after the point of the stream, and then we'll get to it for sure. Alright, this was a good suggestion, by the way. Shout out to Rick for this suggestion. It was a good suggestion. Where is it at? Okay. There we go. Alright. So I don't want to wait around too much longer. Let's go ahead and get started and ask that question, and I'll answer it as soon as we're done with the point of the stream, okay? I'll scroll up, I'll find it, I'll answer it, but I don't want to wait around too long. So, explaining anxiety to the friends and family of someone going through it. Now I've got a notepad here with several things written down that we're gonna kind of go over and address. The first thing that I've got written down here is they haven't lost interest in you. So I want you to understand something. If you've got somebody that's going through this thing that we call anxiety, sensitization, whatever label you want to put on it, I want you to understand something. First and foremost, they have not lost interest in you, right? They have not lost interest in you, and they do want to do things with you. Right? That is the first thing I want to make very, very obvious. When somebody's going through this, they very clearly have a lot on their mind, and they're just experiencing a lot of physical symptoms that makes it difficult to show interest in outside things, right? So I want to make that known. They haven't lost interest in you. It's not that they have said to themselves, well, this person's just not for me anymore. I don't want to be around this person. I've got better things to do. I would rather just do a whole lot of nothing all day. Now, understand, right, that they haven't lost interest in you. In fact, it's the complete opposite. They're just very absorbed in the way that they are feeling, because the feelings can be very alarming, the symptoms can be very alarming, the intrusive thoughts can be very alarming. So it's not that they've lost interest in you, it's just that they are very absorbed in the way that they feel. Right? So they haven't lost interest in you, and they do want to do things with you. It's just hard, right? It can be difficult at times to really muster up the motivation to want to do things in the outside world. Right? So they haven't lost interest in you. Do not take it personally. That is the biggest mistake that I see people make when dealing with friends and family that are going through the recovery process, that are going through anxiety. Now bear in mind, if they're here on the channel and they're watching the videos and streams, they are working on their recovery, and hopefully you will start to see that, right? You'll see a reflection of that. But again, biggest mistake that I see people make when we're talking about, how they handle their friends or family that are going through it, is that they take it very personally. Biggest mistake that you can make. Oh, they don't want to do things with me anymore, right? They don't want to hang out with me anymore. They've lost interest in me. That is the absolute worst things that you could possibly be telling yourself right now, right? I promise you that the person who's going through recovery has not lost interest in you, and they do want to do things with you. This is just a big journey. This is a big journey. And there's a lot that goes into it, and it can be overwhelming at times. So don't make that mistake, right? Don't tell yourself that this is something to be taken personally. If you notice that your friend or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife or husband, whoever it is in your life that's going through anxiety, do not make the mistake of telling yourself that it's something that has something to do with you. Right? It has nothing to do with you. I can assure you of that. Their feelings have not changed. It's just that they're going through a difficult journey. So keep that in mind. The next thing that I've got written down here is they appreciate your support, but don't be overwhelming, right? They appreciate your support, but don't be overwhelming. I know you want to support your friend. I know you want to support your loved one. That's what people do that care about each other, right? I get it. Totally natural reaction to someone that you love that's going through a struggle. You want to be supportive, but don't be overwhelming. And there's several reasons for that. Number one is reassurance. Reassurance is a downfall when it comes to recovering from anxiety. If you are constantly reassuring your person, right, your friend or your family member, whatever, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, if you're constantly reassuring them with their anxiety, no, that bad thing won't happen, you're feeding into their OCD, you're feeding into their anxiety, you're making these intrusive thoughts that they're dealing with stronger. So I know you want to be supportive, but don't be overwhelming. It's okay, right, to offer your support, and it's okay to give a little bit of a reassurance, a reassuring vibe from time to time, but don't be overwhelming with it. And the number one reason for that is you're just hindering their recovery, okay? And secondly, you don't want to be overwhelming with it, because although I'm sure they appreciate your support, okay, there's going to be a big part of them that's sort of thinking to themselves, you don't understand. And don't take that personally, because you don't understand, right? You don't understand. They're not wrong when they say you don't understand. You don't understand, and that's okay. I'm sure they don't want you to understand, because that would mean you'd have to go through it too. So it's okay to be supportive, but don't be overwhelming, because again, we don't need the reassurance. It's actually a hindrance towards recovery. And secondly, if you're really overwhelming with your support, they're just going to be kind of sitting there thinking to themselves, I appreciate the support, but you're smothering me and you don't get it anyway. So be supportive, have supportive vibes, right? But don't be overwhelming with it. Don't be smothering with it. And there's several reasons why you don't want to do that. So again, this person has not lost interest in you. They do want to do things with you. They're just going through a lot right now, right? And it's okay to be supportive, but don't be overwhelming with your support. Don't smother, right? Don't smother, because a lot of times, me personally, when I was going through it, if someone was very supportive, that was great. But if they constantly brought it up, it got annoying. It got really, like I said, just smothering. I didn't want to talk about it all the time. I didn't want to constantly be asked if I was okay. I didn't want constant support 24/7. That was just choking me out. So be supportive, but don't be overwhelming, right? Treat this person as if they're completely normal, because they are completely normal. They've just got tired nerves, right? And the last, but probably the biggest point that I've got written down here is accept that you don't understand. This is so important. If you're trying to understand what your person is going through on this anxiety journey and you can't relate, that's great. If you want to research, that's great. If you want to watch some videos, that's great. But at the end of the day, no matter how much information you take in, you need to also accept the fact that you just don't understand. Going through this thing is very difficult to put into words. You can try all day long, but you still can't really, for someone who's never been through it, you still can't really convince them of what it really feels like, of what it really is, right? So if you're trying to be there for someone that you love that's going through this experience, the first thing you need to accept, right, and the most important thing that you need to accept is that you just don't understand. And that's okay. You need to accept that you don't understand. You don't need to try to convince yourself, oh, I completely get it. He's just a little nervous. She's just a little nervous. They just have some nerve issues. Don't convince yourself that you get it, because you don't. And if you convince yourself that you do, you're going to come off as, oh, I get it. I know what you're going through. And you really don't. And there's nothing more aggravating or annoying to someone who's going through this journey than to be told by someone who they know clearly has not much of a clue what's going on that they get it when they don't. So don't convince yourself that you get it. Just admit it. Admit it and openly say to that person that you're trying to be there for, look, I get it that I don't get it. I get that I don't get it. That's okay. And honestly, if you admit to that person that you're trying to support right now that you don't get it, that's probably going to make them feel actually better. You're more than likely thinking to yourself, how is that going to make them feel better? Well, like I said, there's nothing more annoying or frustrating than to be told by someone who clearly doesn't get it that they get it, right? We see through that, and we know that you don't understand. And it's okay that you don't understand. You'd be much better off just admitting that you don't understand. Believe me, I've been there, and anyone who's currently there, they would much rather you come to them and say, look, I support you and I'm here for you, and I understand that I don't get it, right? We would much rather hear that than something like, I understand completely, I've been there. If you really have been there, okay, but more than likely, you're just saying that. I've been there, you drop all that. Drop all that. They don't want to hear it. I promise they don't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it either. I can promise they don't want to hear it either. So here, listen to this. We're going to start at the top again. They haven't lost interest in you. I promise they still love you. They still care about you, right? They're just going through a lot right now. They still want to do things with you. It just can be very difficult to do that at your pace, right? You need to probably go at their pace instead. They appreciate your support, but don't be overwhelming. Don't smother. Don't choke them to death with the support. It can hinder recovery, and not only that, but it can get very frustrating for the person who's going through it if you're constantly asking them if they're okay. In fact, a lot of times, all it takes to set somebody off who's on the edge already with tired nerves is to ask them if they're okay, because then they get into their head about it, right? So don't be smothering with the support. Don't be smothering with the support. Give space. And lastly, accept that you don't understand. And that's not a bad thing. And that's not me putting you down. That's me saying, hey, I'm glad you don't understand. And it's okay for you to admit to the person that you're trying to support right now that you don't understand. And I promise they would probably much rather hear that than do you make up, oh, yeah, I totally get it. They don't want to hear that. So there's my little tutorial, if you will, my little guide on how to behave and how to act towards somebody who's going through the anxiety journey if you've never experienced it yourself. There's just some, pointers for you. Now, I want to sum this up by kind of explaining, and I know that's what the title of the stream says, but we'll save this for last. I kind of just want to explain what they're going through on a daily basis, right? So that maybe you can understand a little bit better. Understand that a lot of their day will be spent mentally in their head. Hopefully they're watching the videos and they're working on that, right? But let's just hypothetically assume that they're not working on it. They're not using the keys here. Then most of their day is going to be spent in their head. They're not going to be very in touch with what's going on around them. They may seem distant, right? And it's because a lot is going on in their head. They're doing a lot of worry. They're worried about things that you yourself would probably find irrelevant. But understand, to your sensitized person, these things feel very, very real. So they're going to be in their head, and they're going to seem very distant. Now, also, they're going to seem like they've lost interest in things that they normally would do. So you might be thrown for a loop when your person is no longer involved in all the hobbies that they used to enjoy. But understand that it's just because they're so mentally caught up in their head with all of this anxiety and worry that they've lost interest in the outside world. So they're going through a lot of worry, and they're going through a lot of physical symptoms as well. These physical symptoms can be very intense and alarming, right? These physical symptoms can be very intense and alarming, so they're going to be very on edge. So, again, there is no amount of words that exist that can really fully 110% explain what your person is going through, right? It's one of those experiences that you really have to experience for yourself if you ever want to truly get it. And hopefully you never have to experience it for yourself. But just keep in mind, your person is going to be very on edge, and they're dealing with a lot of intense physical symptoms. These physical symptoms can vary, right? There's a ton of different anxiety and panic symptoms. And again, the best thing you can do is offer your support, but don't be smothering, right? Accept that you don't understand. And please, for the love of God, do not take it personally. The worst thing you could do for your person's nerves right now is to add to the problem. If you are adding to the problem by asking questions like, have you lost interest in me? Do you not love me anymore? What's wrong with you? Get over it. If you're doing any of the above, understand that you are not helping your person recover. Instead, you're making it that much more difficult, right? So just, I know this video was a little bit all over the place, but just a little bit of a tutorial, if you will, trying to help explain what's going on with the person that you love. Hopefully you take these tips, you take these pointers and use them, because, whoever it is that you're trying to support right now that's going through this thing, they're here on the channel, they are learning, they are trying, and they will get there. But this thing takes practice, and it's not an overnight journey. Please do not get frustrated or lose your temper or lose your patience when you don't see 100% progress in your person within a week's time, right? This thing takes time. So hopefully this video helps somebody out there that wants to be supportive for their friend or family member or lover who's going through this thing, right? And they just don't know how. Hopefully those little pointers there will help you out. So again, Rick, thank you so much for the suggestion on the stream. I believe it's a good one. It's one that we needed on the channel. I don't think we've ever really talked about this topic before. So thank you for that suggestion. Rick left it over on the Discord. We're going to wrap this one up and get to our usual questions. So if anybody in chat has questions, go ahead and feel free to ask those now. While we wait on those to come in, I am going to get some music going. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. What's up, Denise? Hey, everybody. Hey, Wonder Bro. How you doing, Denise? Let's see. My family and friends need to tune into this broadcast. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people will actually take advantage of this stream and sit down and show it to their friends or family that they're close to. I don't know. I don't know how often this stream will be used, but just in case there's somebody out there that wants somebody in their life to understand what they're going through a little bit better, this stream is here. So, whether it gets taken advantage of or not, oh well, it's here. It's here for anybody who might want it. Let's see. Jen, what is up, Jen? This is really loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Get us some music going, get into our normal Q&A here. Alright, let's see here. Hey, Wonder Bro, after finally 5 years of always shitty days, I'm starting to have good days. Last 20 to 30 days, I live my life like I used to live when I don't have anxiety, going out swimming, playing badminton. Slowly but gradually, my anxiety had pretty much been non-existent. Anyway, yesterday I was wrecked with anxiety. I'm not scared of it, but I don't know what happened suddenly, as I don't fall into any bad habits. So there's a thing, there's little annoying things in your brain called pathways, right? Fear pathways. They learn when they're activated. So basically, in simple terms, your anxiety learns when you feel fear. Your anxiety learns when you're afraid. You should be telling yourself right now that you're going to just continue what you've been doing for the last 20, 30 days, you said, right? Those positive behaviors and acceptance, which is the two main keys. So congrats on using them. But what you need to do is you need to continue doing that, especially when you feel fear. Especially when you feel fear, because you can have a good 20 or 30 days, and maybe there's a fear pathway that needs to be retrained in your brain, and then it kind of rears its ugly little head up, right? Well, this is an opportunity for you. That's all it is. It's an opportunity for you to continue doing what you've been doing these past 20, 30 days and continue to send the correct message to your brain. So it's not out of the ordinary. Nothing weird is going on. You just have a perfect opportunity to continue your recovery and take your recovery to the next level. So hopefully you take advantage of that. Hopefully you take advantage of that. What is up, Jen? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I think Sanchez sneaked in here earlier. Yes, he did. Wonder Bro, what's up, Sanchez? How you doing, dude? How you doing? It's a beautiful day, man. Beautiful, beautiful day. Nearly 80 degrees here. I did upload a garden update video today, guys. So if the garden updates are something you're into, there is part 6 up on the channel right now. Right now, go check it out. Go check it out. Go check it out. Also, Edgar, I believe it was. Edgar had a question before we started the point of the stream. If you still have that question, feel free to ask it. Feel free to ask it. You want some Miami Vice today? I got you, actually. I've got you. Let's see. Right here. I'll try to be on the ball with the ads. We all know that the Miami Vice playlist is absolutely littered with ads. We'll start with my favorite one. Where's it at? There we go. Thanks, Wonderbro. Really appreciate it. You and your videos have been instrumental in helping me to get where I am. I love it, Omar. Love to hear it, dude. And pat yourself on the back for using those positive behaviors and getting on with your life. That can be the most difficult thing for some people, to continue to live and act as if they did before the sensitized nerves, right? Because you simply don't feel like doing that. But you need to do that because you need to show your brain that all is well. So congrats on accepting. Congrats on continuing to live. Hopefully not doing much worry anymore, right? Just hey, whatever thoughts come, whatever feelings come, and that's fine. Shut the worry down and get on living. So congrats on doing that, and just keep it up. You got to be diligent, and you got to be dedicated, and it seems like you are. Don't let this little bump in the road throw you off too much. Sorry, everyone. Busy today. Catch up later. No problem, Sky. No problem. Haven't been here in months because I've been doing good. Just wanted to say thank you again for literally saving my life, Wonder Bro. I used to lay in bed playing your videos over and over. Sending love to all. I love it, Rue. Thank you for stopping by and sharing that positive message, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's always so kind when people decide to do that. Because they don't have to do that, right? They could just like totally forget the channel even exists, but instead they decide to stop by and spread some positivity and hope for everybody else. So I love to see it. I love to see it. Today's stream will probably be more of a casual sort of laid back stream. I don't think we'll get a ton of questions today. I don't think we'll get a ton of viewers today, simply because this video, like I said, is kind of like a special case. It's a video that's aimed at friends and family and not so much you guys going through it. So I don't think many people leave and tune in today, but that's okay because I feel like this stream needed to be made. I feel like it needed to be made, and it needed to be there in case it was needed. My brother, what the bro, Sanchez, how you doing today, dude? How you doing today, my dude? I've actually been tossing around the idea of maybe doing pre-recorded videos on weekends, like maybe Sunday, Saturday, something like that. I've been tossing around that idea, Mike. So if pre-recorded videos come back, like if we drop like one a week, then your anxiety motivation part 2 is at the very tip top of that list. I need to get my editing software back since I factory restored my PC. Awesome living life. I love it. Keep it up. Keep it up. I've been playing a little Crash Bandicoot 4. It was free for PlayStation Plus members this month, which kind of blew me away because it's like a $60 game, but I've been having a lot of fun with that. Mostly spent 90% of the day out in the garden doing some things. Crap. Tony, what's up, Tony? Oh, sorry, I had to stand up and cut some of these lights off. They were blinding. They were blinding. I wonder what the main cam looks like now that we've just got the live sign on. It's alright. We can chill in the dark. We can chill in the dark a little bit. No more Willy. Is that what we named the shark? Or was it Will? Will, Willy, something like that. No, I haven't actually played that game since the last time we streamed it. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Yeah, I haven't actually played Raft since the last time we streamed it on the channel. Have you been, bro? I've been good, dude. How have you been, Tony? We've had some beautiful weather here recently, so I've spent a lot of time in the garden. I'm probably sunburnt. Let's see. Let's roll our music back a little bit. I wish we were a little bit lighter with just the live sign on, but let's see. I could probably do something like this. Turn the brightness up a little bit. I mean, that works. That works. We'll have to turn all that down later, but it's been raining for 2 weeks straight. Damn, I love the rain, don't get me wrong, but we had like back-to-back storms, like heavy storms for 3-4 days in a row. And yeah, it started to get on my nerves too. It started to get on my nerves too, especially with the gardening shit, because you can't do any sort of yard work or gardening or anything like that when it's just pouring the rain. So I understand. I understand. I liked it the first day. I liked it the second day. But once you get into day 3, 4, 5, yeah, it gets a bit annoying. It gets a bit annoying. I'm also a little torn on whether or not I'm excited for the chilly weather that's coming up, right? Like fall and all that. Like I love Halloween. I love the whole season, like just everything about it. Such a vibe. Such a vibe. But I don't know, I'm torn. I've been enjoying the warm weather so much. I don't know if I'm ready for chilly weather quite yet. But at the same time, it's my favorite time of year. So I don't know, man. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. So I wonder if, and this is just me brainstorming a little bit, I wonder if it's possible to midstream change the title of the stream, and then when the stream's over, we'll change it back, right? So for example, I could change the title of the stream now to just a Q&A. And then when the stream's over, we'll change it back. I'm going to try to do that. See what happens. Thank you for this. Absolutely share. Like I said, I don't know how many people will actually take advantage of a stream like this. It's definitely different than what we normally do. But you never know. Even if it just helps one person, even if there's just one person out there who's like, you know what, I wish somebody would make a video with some pointers and some tips on how to treat me while I go through this thing, so I could show my wife or show my husband, right? Even to just one person, then that's cool. That's cool. Then it served its purpose, right? Halloween, yes, and we all know who the Halloween king is, right? Sanchez, we are all aware. You're gonna have to, well, I think you take videos every year, right? Showing off your attraction. I call it your attraction because you've basically got a entire amusement park worth of Halloween decorations. Your haunted house. We'll have to theme the stream out here soon in preparation for Halloween. It's too early now, though. It is too early. I wish it wasn't, but it is. I love Halloween. I just love everything about that time of year. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, we've all got that time of year that we just feel the most relaxed and just peaceful in, right? Like some people is like that with Christmas and winter, and some people live for the summer, and me, I'm just like, I live for Halloween. I live for that time of year. It's when I'm at my best. It's when I'm at my best. Whew. I did just sit down not long ago and come up with a whole list of new stream ideas, so I'm pretty excited for the week ahead. let's see. I'm going to drop one more link for you guys. There is a suggestions channel. There is a suggestions channel over on the Discord, and that's where I found this suggestion for this stream. So let me put that in chat, and if you guys want to join us over there, leave a suggestion or two in there. It might just make a stream out of it. Might just make a stream out of it. Alright, there we go. Where's Terry and where's Jesse? I haven't seen those guys in forever. Is it really possible to go without thinking about anxiety? Even on my most normal days, I worry about anxiety or think about it. Well, it's a habit that you've really got to work on, right? So I know it feels pretty much automatic to you at this point to constantly be thinking about something negative or anxiety in this case. Right? I know that feels almost automatic to you because that's probably how you've lived your life for a very long time. So it's a strong habit. Worry is a strong habit. And when you're thinking about anxiety constantly, we can call that worry. Some people might try to justify that and say that that's not worry because I'm not freaking out about it. You don't necessarily have to be freaking out in order for it to be classified as worry, right? So if you're in your head always thinking about anxiety, we can start to become more aware of that and more conscious of that. And when we become more aware and more conscious of that, we can start to work on dropping that. So another place where a lot of people get caught up is, but Wonder Bro, me thinking about anxiety is just automatic. It's just my mind doing it to me. And it's not, right? It's not. Intrusive thoughts definitely do exist. You could be sitting around minding your own business and you have a random pop-up thought, right? But to sit around and consciously think, right, is not your mind's fault. It's just a habit that you've developed. So, for example, if you do catch yourself up in your head, and a lot of this practice is about catching yourself, if you do catch yourself up in your head thinking about anxiety, you can say, you know what, that's enough of that. Right? So you become aware of it, you catch yourself, you know what, that's enough of that. You can give yourself some sort of accepting reminder, as we call them, or statement, something that grounds you back in reality. So you catch yourself and you tell yourself something like, there's no point in continuing that, right? And then the attention comes back out into the real world. It comes right back out into reality. Now you might notice that 2 minutes later, 15 seconds later, you're back up in your head thinking about anxiety, thinking about something negative. We call that worry. And the moment you catch that, you can tell yourself again, right? That's not worth it. No point in that. And the attention comes right back out into reality. So you'll probably hear me say on the channel a whole lot, rinse and repeat. And the reason I say rinse and repeat is for that reason, because it's a strong habit. You're going to catch yourself doing it a lot, especially at first, right? And that's okay. Rinse and repeat. You catch it, shut it down, back to reality. Catch it, shut it down, back to reality. And, you know, again, I know intrusive thoughts exist, but the same advice applies to them, so it doesn't really matter if you can, you know, tell the difference or not. Even if it's an intrusive thought that pops up and it was your subconscious mind's doing, sending a thought to your conscious mind, whatever. Same advice exists, right? You catch it, you don't add to it, you just say, okay, well, so be it, and the attention comes back out to reality. So don't let that get you confused. It doesn't matter if you call it an intrusive thought, or if you think it's an intrusive thought, or if you think it's you worrying. Either way, the same advice applies. Catch this mental stuff when it's going on. Accepting, grounding reminder, statement, right? Tension comes back to reality so that you're no longer fueling all this crap that's going on in your head. You're no longer continuing to do it. You're no longer arguing with it, adding to it, fighting it, right? So same advice applies. When you catch yourself thinking about this anxiety or whatever the case may be, apply this advice. Apply this advice. That way you can start to starve it. You can start to starve it out of all that power that you've given it for so long. So hopefully that answer there helps you out. That's really what this all comes down to at the end of the day, is starving all this shit out. Just starving it out. You're trying to starve it out, and the only way you can starve it out is to quit arguing with it. Right? To quit doing it. Just quit doing it. And sounds easier said than done, and I know it takes some practice. It takes a lot of catching it, right? As we just called it, but it's worth it, man. It's worth it. The results are worth it. And they will come. They will come in time. Some days a little easier to do than other days. You gotta find something to live by. You gotta find some new motto to live by that keeps you out of this mental stuff. You gotta find something that you keep coming back to instead of going down the same old route, the same old road. But worry. Gotta find something new. Claire Weeks called it the accepting inner voice, but you can call it whatever you'd like to call it. It's something to get you out of fueling this stuff, really. Sometimes I feel like I drag my answers on a little bit too long, but you can never hear it too many times, I feel like. Living your life, I felt like once I started work, it went pretty fast. I had more important things to focus on besides anxiety. I mean, that's another good part of that key, right? Living your life. A lot of people assume the only purpose that it serves is for the positive behaviors, right? To show the brain that all is well, yada yada yada. But it serves a couple purposes, and that is one of the purposes that it serves. It gets you, it gets you naturally more focused into the real world. And of course, that by itself is not always enough, because there is such a thing as downtime, right? You can't always be working, you can't always be distracted by something. So that's where the other of the two main keys comes into play. There's going to be times where you do have to do the mental work, and there's not always something there for you to lose focus in, right? So you do have to do the mental work too, but living your life is very very important, very crucial. Two main keys for a reason. Live your life and shut down that worry. We call it a million different things. The accepting inner voice, not following thoughts, shutting down the worry, whatever you want to, whatever speaks to you. But definitely two keys for a reason. But I absolutely agree with you, Tony. The living your life part of the equation is an important part. naturally, naturally you're gonna have way less time to be adding that second fear mentally if you're living your life. But again, you can't always be distracted by something. So that's where the other of our two main keys come into play, practicing shutting down that worry. Ooh. Denise, thank you so much, Denise. Thank you. Denise with the $10 tip. First tip of the stream says, I appreciate how much you've helped me in this community. I'm in a good place now, and it always feels like home when I stop by to hear another great stream. I appreciate you, Denise. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are on that 160-day streak, so thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you. I knew from the beginning this stream would be a bit of a slow one, since it's not aimed at my sensitized or recovery folk, right? It's aimed at friends and family. So I knew this would be kind of a slowish stream, and there would be a lot of long pauses in the chat. But like I said, I couldn't help but to make it, because I feel like it could really help somebody out. I know what it feels like to be in the situation where you really want to explain what's going on with yourself, and you really want to give all these like pointers to the people in your life, like your girlfriend. Like I have an ex-girlfriend, and I wanted to tell her so many times. I was going through bouts of sensitization. Hey, here's what's going on with me. Like, you just don't have the energy to do it sometimes, right? So I feel like this stream might be good for somebody to just copy and send to whoever they want to have a better understanding of what they're going through. Yes, thank you, Denise. I appreciate you. What do you guys think? I think we made some pretty solid points today, right? Like I tried not to be too biased and just base it off of my personal experience. I tried to look at it from a broader perspective, but I feel like that's pretty fair. Like a lot of the points that we made today. How do you guys feel about it? Like especially the part where I talked about, we spoke about they appreciate your support, but don't be overwhelming. Because for me personally, on my journey, the one thing I couldn't stand, right, like more than anything, was, part of me was like, thank you so much for being supportive. But another big part of me was like, please stop asking if I'm okay. Right? Like, anytime you ask me if I'm okay, I get into my head even more about how not okay I feel. So please stop asking, am I okay? Like, do you guys agree with that? Because for me, that was a big one. Like, thank you for being supportive, but please stop freaking asking if I'm okay. And please stop saying things like, what's wrong with you? Please stop saying, don't smother me with the questions of, are you okay? And what's wrong with you? And don't want to talk about it, right? Don't want to talk about it. That was always kind of my perspective. It was like, those sort of questions just like, I don't know, they always set me off, because I was like, well, I was in my head, but now I'm even more in my head because you keep asking me what's wrong with me. So, I don't know. That was a big one for me. Like, just treat me like I'm normal. That's what I would always feel like. Like, just treat me like I'm normal. Like, thanks for the support, but just treat me like I'm a human, please. Don't be overwhelming. Good tip. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some people out there that prefer to be checked in on like that all the time. I don't know. Me personally, I couldn't stand it. Not that I was always checked in on all the time, because I didn't really talk about my issues a whole lot, but anyone that, that knew about me, if they did start to get overwhelming, it would be really frustrating. For me, I find that people hate that they can't fix you, and they mean well, but they get upset with you because they can't. Yeah, which kind of falls into that last point I was trying to make with accept that you don't understand, right? People get frustrated because, they think that they understand, and they tell themselves they understand. They tell you that they understand, and, whether they actually believe that or not, I don't know, but kind of falls into that same category of they're getting frustrated because they feel like they can't fix you or whatever. And it just comes back to that point. Look, you just don't understand, right? So that, I feel like that's pretty crucial too. Like, for someone to be truly supportive and effective at being supportive, they need to also have a certain acceptance of the fact that they don't understand the situation, and that they will never truly fully understand it unless they've been there themselves. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if they can accept that they don't understand, they might be more lenient on not getting so frustrated with that individual, right? So accept that you don't understand. I push away whenever people keep prodding. Yeah, I mean, same. I feel like that's true for most people. It comes back to just don't be smothering with it. Don't be so smothering with it. Give space, be supportive, but don't smother somebody. Stop, don't ask too many questions. Accept that you don't understand. Offer the support when it's needed, but stop crossing so many lines with it. Right? Stop crossing so many lines with it. And here's something I should have mentioned. I don't know why I didn't say this earlier, but let the anxious person lead the way in your support. Does that make sense? Let the anxious person decide when they want the support and when they don't want the support. Let the anxious person decide, right, how they want to be supported. So if you've got somebody out there that does appreciate it when they ask the question, are you okay today, then do that. But if you've got somebody out there who doesn't appreciate that, and that's very smothering to them, then you probably shouldn't do that. Let the anxious person decide, right? Maybe have a talk to them. Look, how do you want me to support you, right? Instead of just kind of assuming. So, man, I regret I didn't mention that. I regret that I did not put that on the list, but hey, I don't know. If anybody watches this stream this far into it, then there you go. There's another little piece of advice. If you really just want to do away with the whole list that you heard today and just sit down with the person and say, how do you want to be supported? Then you can just do that, right? You can cut me out of the equation completely. Just sit down with the person and say, what ways do you like to be supported? Because again, that list is based off my personal experience. Maybe it's not the same for everyone, but I feel like it's pretty damn accurate to just about anyone who's going through this thing. Man, it's getting a bit chilly sitting beside this AC. But then it gets super hot in like a matter of seconds, really, as soon as I turn it off. What do you recommend for intrusive thoughts and compulsions? Definitely those two main keys. All day long, all day long. And I know you're probably thinking, shut up. Tell me something different. I want an easier solution. Unfortunately, that does not exist. Don't get stuck in that trap. I was stuck in that trap for a long time. I would always read things and hear things like, okay, well, accept the feelings, don't do the compulsions, and don't fight or argue with the thoughts. Just accept them. Don't add the worry, right? So thought comes in and you say, well, fuck it. And you just let that make you feel anxious, and you start worrying. Shut it down, fuck it, right? And you're living your life, and don't do the compulsions while you're, and it is so simple, like hearing that's so simple, right? Like everybody can understand what that is, but it's not an easy solution. It's not an easy solution, right? Because it takes work, and it takes time, and it takes repeated dedicated effort. So I made the mistake of knowing all that good stuff, but then when I didn't feel up to doing it, it was like, please give me a different solution. But unfortunately, a different solution doesn't exist, right? It just doesn't exist. So, or at least one that works. So I know you get sick of hearing that. I know when you come in here and you say, what do you recommend for intrusive thoughts or compulsions? You're hoping to hear something that you haven't heard before. I get that. That was me, right? Ask the same question and hope for a different answer. That was me for like a very long time. And I understand the place that you're coming from. I get it completely. But don't forget that the solution doesn't change, and it'll never change. It's always going to be intrusive thought. Fuck it. Back to living. You notice yourself worrying. Shut it down. Just say fuck it instead. Back to living. You notice that you're anxious and you want to do a compulsion. Don't do it. Just back to living. It's all just one big effort. Right? Sanchez loves that. I don't know if he's still in chat. It's all just one big effort. And I know that's simple to understand, but it's easier said than done. So you really hope that you can find a different solution. You really hope that maybe one day I'll spit out the missing piece to your puzzle. But I'm telling you, I don't have a missing piece to your puzzle. Right? It doesn't exist. But yeah, I get it. I get it, Amanda. I get it. I was there. I read the Clear Weeks book so many times that I could recite it word for word. I would skip from chapter to chapter looking for that missing piece to the puzzle. I would read the forums over and over again trying to find that missing piece to the puzzle. I would ask the same questions hoping for a different answer. And it wasn't until one day, every thought that came to my head, I said, fuck it. Every time I caught myself worrying, I'd shut it down and say, fuck it. I'd do it again 15 seconds later, 15 seconds later, 15 seconds later. No matter how I felt, it was just fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. And it was living life, and it was no more compulsions, and it sucked major ass there for a little bit, but it got so much easier in time. One day you just got to go for it. Really, that's what it comes down to. One day you just got to go for it. You got to say, hey, I've already got all the answers. It's time to just do it. It's time to just do it. What am I waiting for? I owe this to myself to get started. There is no such thing as a missing piece to the puzzle, right? Sorry for the lecture and slash rant, but it's just because I can relate to you, and I understand that you're going through it, and you're hoping that something else exists, but it doesn't, right? So I get it. It's that obsessive habit to want to try to find something more, find something else, right? I'll put it to you this way. If you quite literally had a timer, or not a timer, but like something that you could keep a tally with, like score points with, like what do they call those little things, like a track coach will use, those little silver things. You press the button and it puts a 1 and then a 2 and a 3 and a counter, right? Is it called a counter? I think there's a better name for it. But anyway, if you quite literally had a counter in your head somewhere, the amount of times that you will have to say, and I'm just using fuck it as an example, but the amount of times that you would have to say fuck it when you have an intrusive thought that keeps coming back, or when you catch yourself worrying, either one, it doesn't matter, The amount of times you'll have to say fuck it as you're living your life, that counter would probably it probably max out, right, in a day, in a single day, if you're truly that dedicated. So, you know, you might sound a bit like a broken record, but yeah, it takes work shutting that shit down. And when I say shutting it down, I mean shutting the fight down, the argument, the worry, all that good stuff. You'll shut it down 1 second just for you to start doing it again 15 seconds later, and then you gotta shut it down again, right? But thank you for the question, Amanda. Anytime I get a question that sends me off on a little bit of rant, it's always a good question, because you never know how many other people out there have the same question. So I do appreciate the questions. No such thing as a stupid question, right? No such thing as a bad question. You never know where a question will lead us. So is that our first ad? Might be. I'm surprised. Usually that playlist is just overwhelming amount of ads. Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at time-wise? About an hour 3 we'll go to, an hour 15. See if anybody's got any other questions. What state are you in again? I'm on East Coast, VA. About 79, 80 degrees here according to my PC. Watching from Barbados. Nice. What is the weather like there? Awesome weather compared to Texas. I'd say it's like I've got a friend who actually lives in Texas, and she says it's absolutely miserable. So, I'd say it is awesome weather compared to. I don't doubt that. It's the humidity that I can't stand, right? Like, that's what gets me. That's what gets me. It's the humidity. Plenty of sun and beaches. Live it up. Live it up, Barbara. Live it up. What's your take on GAD, like the label GAD? I think it's all just labels. Personally, I don't get too caught up on labels like OCD, GAD. What's another popular one? Panic disorder. I think all these labels are just that, labels, right? Because if you think about it, the solution is always the same. Acceptance, the solution, always the same. So if you have someone with the label of GAD or panic disorder, which all these labels are going to vary depending on who you go see, right? So let's say that too. Let's throw that out there too, because a lot of people don't realize that, but it's very true. These labels are going to vary depending on who you go and see. But again, the solution will always remain the same. Dr. Claire Weeks hit the nail on the head when she said, tired mind, tired body, tired nerves. So that's really the best way to sum it up, I think. When you get too caught up on labels, it can add to the worry, which is counterproductive, obviously. More worry, more tired nerves. So getting hung up and caught up on labels can just add to the problem. I understand that in some sense they're needed, maybe, right, in some ways, but at the same time the solution remains the same. So I try not to, personally, I try not to throw too many labels around. Oh my gosh. Where did my energy go? Where did my energy go? I do not know. I think we'll keep it going for about 5 more minutes. We'll be at the hour 15 mark, and then we'll wrap it up. See if we've got any final questions from chat. Overall, this was a pretty good one. Like I said, I wasn't expecting a whole lot of people to tune into this one, just because of the topic, but I think it was still needed nonetheless. Final questions, if anybody has final questions. Ask now or forever hold your peace. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I can't stop yawning all of a sudden. I can't stop yawning. Alright. Jeez, I had to mute for that one. Let's see, I do want to grab a link real quick. Another link. Before we wrap anything up. The Discord link. What are we at on the Discord? We're at like, let's see, 600. Wow, more than I thought. We're almost at 700 now. So, if you do want to join us over on the Discord, let me throw that link in there. This is where I get my suggestions from. So streams like this, where there's suggestion streams, it's all coming from the suggestions channel in the Discord. So if you have video suggestions, join us over there. It only takes like a minute to sign up. It's completely free. Join us over there. Drop your suggestions in the video channel. I'm going to be looking at those more often. Like I said, that's where I got today's stream idea from. So I will be looking through those and paying attention to those. So use that channel, man. Use that. We've got several channels over in the Discord with stuff like that in it. So take advantage. Take advantage of those channels. And you never know. If your suggestion, I feel like, is, you know, a good topic for the channel, then we might do a stream about it. So we might do a stream about it. Steph hit your tip goal. Thank you so much, Steph. Appreciate you. I'm glad you said something because I didn't even check that. The $40 tip. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you. I was contemplating on whether or not today's tip goal should stand because of the topic. Like I said, I knew before I even started this stream, I was like, well, there's not much information in this stream for anybody on the journey to really take in, right? Like, this is aimed at friends and family, so I don't know how hot this stream is gonna do. But thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Let me change this real quick. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there is this topic is a good one. Yeah, there is a lot of good topics that I would like to address and I'd like to talk about on the channel. There's a lot of things that I'd like to address and talk about on the channel that are not even necessarily anxiety related, right? But doing those streams are a little tricky as far as not breaking our 160-day streak is concerned, because typically when you do any sort of stream that's not right in line with right in your face anxiety, a lot of people don't have much interest in those streams, which is understandable. I get it. You subscribed for one thing and you might not watch if we're talking about another thing, so I understand it. I get it. But yeah, doing these streams can be a bit tricky with not breaking that streak because again, you know, how many people that are currently in their journey, for example, has much interest in listening to a stream about explaining anxiety to friends and family, right? So a lot of good topics exist that I want to cover, but I have to be kind of picky and choosy on when I talk about those topics for that reason. So yeah, definitely a bit of a slow stream, but that's okay because I mean, you know, that's going to happen anytime you venture out of the topic of anxiety, but still beneficial for somebody out there, I'm sure. Sanchez, I've got to ask, what is your new profile picture? Is it supposed to be something? Because for me, it's just completely gray. Like, is that what that's supposed to be? Am I supposed to be seeing? Am I losing my mind here? Because it's just completely gray. I think it used to be something different, right? I've been wondering that since you popped into the stream earlier. So I gotta ask. Also, guys, I'm gonna put this on screen for just a second. Right there, our roof goal. Basically, we have until about the end of next month, I'd say. Maybe a little bit after. I don't know exactly when he wants to start the job, but that's how close we are in getting half of the roof finished. We're going to go with the worst half first, obviously, and we are very, very close. We are very, very close to having that roof goal, and we've got a little over a month to do it, and I think we can do it. So, Darth Vader with Anakin. Is that what it is right now? Because if that's what it is right now, it's just completely gray for me. It's just completely gray for me. But yeah, we are so close on that roof goal. I'm not pushing anything today. I'm just letting you guys know we are close. We are very, very close on that roof goal. So thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate you. Let's see. We'll just put the regular tip goal back up. I have a feeling it will get replayed a lot. That's another thing you got to take into consideration, which is why I went ahead with this stream anyway. I knew it would be a slow stream with a low viewer count, but you've also, like you said, you've also got to consider that they do get uploaded like a regular video and people can watch them in the future. So I feel like it's one of those slow burning streams, right? And I've had a few of those in the past. Topics not really interesting to a whole lot of people, but over time, it's a slow burner. People get on YouTube and they search up how to explain anxiety to family or whatever, and this video pops up, and then that's where that's when it starts to actually get watched. So yeah, that's something else. Another reason why I decided to go forward with this topic. Maybe it's just me, Sanchez. I don't think you need to change it. It's probably just on my end. So yeah, maybe it's just me. If it's working for you, then yeah, I don't get that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I've been tossing around the idea since we're on the subject here. As far as this topic is concerned, I've been tossing around the idea of starting a second channel for probably over a year now, I've considered this. And on this second channel, we would do a little bit of everything. We would just like have free reign, right? Like it would just be a fun project channel that I don't care about views. I don't care about growing the channel. It's not what I make a living doing. It's just a fun channel, right? Like I just upload whatever the hell I want to it, whatever topics I want, whatever vlogs I want. Yeah, so I've debated on that because there's a lot of times that I want to sit down and I want to do live streams about all sorts of different topics that are not necessarily anxiety. But it wouldn't be fair to do that on this channel because people are not here for that. They did not hit the subscribe button for that. And I understand that. If I subscribe to a channel about video games and they started uploading videos about chess and board games instead of computer games, I would probably not appreciate it, right? So I get that. You know, but there is a lot of times I want to sit down and I just want to do casual streams and I want to talk about fucking movies or video games or whatever, and I don't want to do that on this channel because that's just not a smart move. People are not here for that and I'm going to lose subscribers, rightfully so. So I've thought about starting a second channel. I don't know what I'd name it, what I'd call it, and I want to do live streams on it and not necessarily have a tip goal or anything. You know, that's here on this channel, but just do live streams that are more chill and casual, and we just hang out, talk about this, that, and the other. And I feel like that second channel might grow this channel, because what if somebody stumbles across a gaming stream, right? Like on my second channel, and then they figure out, hey, he's got a main channel where he talks about anxiety. I've got anxiety, right? And they come to the main channel. Or what if I'm doing a casual live stream on my second channel talking about movies, and some people who enjoy movies stumble across my stream, and then again they find out I've got a main channel about anxiety. Like, I don't know. I think it could be good. I think it could be good. It might be slow, and it might be extremely boring at times because nobody would be there, right? But I think in the end it might actually help this channel grow. And so I don't know. I've been considering it for some time now. So we'll see. Sanchez says, do it away from anxiety. I bet a YouTube channel about chess would be exhilarating, right? Right? So yeah, I get it. I get it. Nobody wants to watch, you know, the people who subscribe to this channel. There is a good handful of them that would follow me anywhere, right? No matter what I'm doing. And I appreciate that. I consider you a true friend and a supporter. But 99%, or at least 90% of the channel is not going to follow me everywhere unless I'm talking about anxiety. And I don't hold that against them. I don't say, well, screw you, right? I say, I know, I get it. That's what you're here for. I completely understand. But yeah. Maybe if you wanted to talk about Star Wars, I'd have to watch them first. I bet you're super offended hearing that. I bet you are super offended with what just came out of my mouth. But I'd have to watch them first. I've never sat down and watched a full Star Wars movie from start to finish. I'll just be honest. But I don't know, dude. I'll continue to consider that. And anybody got any suggestions for what I would name a second streaming channel? Suggestions. I'm open to suggestions on what I would name a second channel that's just for streaming. Have you ever been to twitch.com? You just go to the just chatting portion. There's a whole category for it where people quite literally just get on and they live stream and they chat. They don't have a topic. They choose the topic. Every day it's something different. It's not just one thing. I don't know. I would run that second channel something like that. Streams, and who the hell knows what we'll talk about. But I'm open to suggestions for names. And yeah, I might make the channel and set it up and then maybe never use it. Or maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know. What's up, Edward? How you doing, dude? This stream was supposed to end forever ago, but we've just been hanging out. Thank you again, Steph, for taking us to tip goal. I appreciate you. Cause I'm a talker, man. I really am. I'm a talker. I'll be the first to admit it. Luckily for me, my streams are about a topic that requires a lot of talking, right? Luckily for me, people who go through anxiety have to hear the same thing over and over. So I can talk all day, and that's just a lucky coincidence. But I'm a talker, and I enjoy talking about things that aren't necessarily anxiety all the time. So I don't know. The more I think about it, the more this second channel is sounding more and more appealing. More and more appealing. Stream about your out and about. My one trip to Walmart a week. You could. I mean, I could. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. Like, we used to do vlogs on this channel. I don't know how many of you are OG enough to remember the vlogs, because we're talking like years ago. But we used to do vlogs on this channel. Granted, they didn't get very many views, but they were fun to do. They were fun to do. I wish I wouldn't have deleted them. I guess after a while, when I seen that the vlogs and the stuff like that weren't really doing too hot, I went and deleted all those videos, but they were still fun to watch. It's just there wasn't much interest in them, right? At least not on this channel. So that's why I'm thinking about a second channel. I know Steph is relatively new. We used to do vlogs, and we used to do even funny comedy sketches, and they weren't even anxiety related. Like, I would do like top tens, and I would just funny comedy sketches. And I did a few with some family, and yeah, I thought they were pretty funny. I thought they were a good laugh. Maybe they were super cringy, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe they were super cringy and not funny at all. I thought they were okay, but I used to do all sorts of stuff here on the channel. It just didn't work, right? It just did not work. There's a very small percentage of people that are actually subscribed that want to see that, right? Like, you guys in the chat can say that you want to see it, which is great, and I appreciate the shit out of that. But if I uploaded something like that, we'd max out at like 80 views, and we'd lose like 10 subscribers. I think every time I uploaded a vlog or a comedy sketch that wasn't anxiety related, I would always lose a handful of subscribers, and my views would drop significantly, which affects the algorithm. It affects YouTube showing your channel to new people. When your channel is performing below average or in the negative, YouTube stops promoting your channel, right, as heavily. So as much as I enjoyed doing the vlogs and the comedy sketches, they were not helping me grow. In fact, they were losing subscribers, because people who were only interested in anxiety, if it wasn't anxiety, they were like, well, okay, well, I'm not going to stay subscribed to this guy. I'm going to find something different. That's the unfortunate reality about having a dedicated channel to one subject. And don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but that's why we can't really do a whole lot besides what we do now. So yeah, second channel might be in the works, might be a possibility, because there's a video creator in me that is dying to come out and make vlogs and comedy sketches. I love comedy. I love making people laugh, and but it just won't work on this channel, right? It just won't work on this channel, unfortunately. That's why I like TikTok. I like making TikToks. I love TikToks. That's why I like doing the garden vlogs. They don't really hurt the channel that bad because they're YouTube shorts, right? They're 60-second videos. That's why I love doing all that. The garden vlogs, the TikToks, all of those different things, they give me a chance to do something different. And I just like creating content. I like doing videos. Anxiety will always be my #1 passion, right? Because there's nothing more rewarding than helping people out of that hellhole. But there's still a video creator inside of me that likes to do videos on all sorts of things. And I can't express that here. So I'm really considering that second channel. I'll follow you and hang out. Yeah, I would appreciate anybody that wants to follow me over there. You know, this channel will always be my main concern. I'll be active most of the time on here. Of course, nothing will change on this main channel. Nothing will change at all. But that side project will be there, that second channel, for anybody who might want to follow me over there. If it happens, right? If it even becomes a thing. Alright, I feel like I have talked your guys' ear off enough for one day. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. Again, if you would like to leave a video suggestion, feel free to. Today's video was a video suggestion, and thank you again, Rick, for the suggestion. Wow, I've said that word a lot. But yeah, if you'd like to leave one, leave one. We'll go ahead and get our song started. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you oh so much. I'll keep you updated. If I do decide to make a second channel, you guys will be the first to know. Anyway, nothing will change here. We'll pick it right back up hopefully tomorrow with another stream for you guys. I love you oh so much. Thank you for everything. 161-day streak. So close to our roof goal. You guys are the most supportive community on the planet. Thank you so much for everything. And until next time, as always, stay awesome.
Whatever you want, I'll be whatever you want. Just tell me you love me or not, whatever it costs. I know I'm talking a lot, there's something I gotta get off. Don't wanna be this no more, I don't wanna drink no more. Always gotta do the most, thinking that I'm insecure. Really should've listened more, but I don't of course. I'm an asshole, I'm a good guy, I'm your best friend, I'm the worst type. Tell you everything that you heard right, just so I can fuck on the first night. Feel like I'm losing hope, running from coast to coast. I don't know where to go, this all I've ever known. I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. No, did it die? Wait, did it die? Wait, did it die? I'm a stone cold killer, I'm a billionaire. I got my own gold digger. If I wasn't this way, I'd rather die. Won't die. Did it die? Wait, did it die? Wait, did it die? My aunt think I'm perfect, I know I'm not. My mama be worried, I told her stop. They know I did drugs and think that I'm off. Little do they know I never could stop. My manager hate when I'm pulling up late. Back on my bullshit, she think it's a phase. I got relations I gotta maintain. I'm two different people, my side and my main. Yeah, I'm sober, I'm an addict, I'm a lowlife, I got habits, but I refuse to be average. Really so tired of acting, don't know what I miss no more. Too bad you don't hit me more. I'm bad when I get too bored, careful what you wishing for. I'm a